12 refineries, 72 hours. 40% of Russian oil processing capacity gone. Not from missiles, not from jets. From drone swarms costing $5,000 each, hitting targets worth $2 billion. October 15th, 2025. Ukraine stops fighting Russian army, starts destroying Russian economy. This is the campaign that changed modern warfare. This is economic strangulation from the air. And this is the story of how 200 drone swarms turned Russia's energy infrastructure into burning wreckage. Ukrainian strategy evolved over 3 years of conflict. Early war focused on defending territory, stopping Russian advances, conventional battlefield operations. By 2025, Ukrainian military command recognized stalemate, neither side achieving breakthrough. Frontlines static, casualties mounting, traditional warfare producing no decision. Time for asymmetric approach. Stop attacking Russian soldiers. Start attacking Russian economy. Specifically, oil refining capacity. Russia produces 10 million barrels crude oil daily, third largest producer globally. But crude oil isn't gasoline, isn't diesel, isn't jet fuel. Crude requires refining. Complex industrial process, distillation towers, catalytic crackers, hydroprocessing units, facilities covering square kilometers, billions in investment. Russia operates 32 major refineries, combined capacity 6 million barrels per day. These refineries keep Russian economy functioning. Fuel for vehicles, feedstock for petrochemicals, export products generating revenue. Destroy refineries and Russian economy hemorrhages. Ukrainian military intelligence identifies 12 priority targets. Refineries within 1,500 kilometers of Ukrainian border. Ryazan, Nizhny Novgorod, Volgograd, Saratov, Samara, Tuapse, others. Each refinery processes 200,000 to 400,000 barrels daily. Each represents critical economic infrastructure, and each is vulnerable to drone attack. Modern refineries designed for efficiency, not defense. Thin-walled tanks, exposed piping, flammable materials everywhere. Perfect targets for kamikaze drones. What's your take on economic warfare strategy? Type A if you think infrastructure is legitimate target. Type B if you think attacking economy crosses lines. Drop your assessment. Ukraine developed indigenous long-range drone capability over 24 months. Early attempts used modified commercial drones. Range maybe 200 kilometers. Inadequate. Needed purpose-built platforms. Ukrainian engineers designed new drone. Length 12 feet, wingspan 20 feet. Piston engine driving pusher propeller. Fuel capacity for 1,800-kilometer range. 80-pound warhead. GPS and inertial navigation. Cost per unit, $5,000. Mass production began mid-2024. By October 2025, Ukraine stockpiled over 2,000 drones ready for operations. October 15th, 200 hours. Operation Economic Pressure initiates. First wave targets 6 refineries simultaneously. 50 drones assigned to each target. 300 drones total. Launched from multiple locations inside Ukraine. Flight time varies by target distance. Ryazan refinery closest at 450 kilometers. Drones arrive in 3.5 hours. Volgograd farthest at 1,400 kilometers. Arrival time 11 hours. Attacks staggered throughout day and night, keeping Russian air defense responding continuously. Drone swarms use simple but effective tactics. Approach at low altitude, 150 feet above ground, below most radar coverage. Use terrain masking where possible. Spread formation wide to complicate interception. No electronic emissions until final approach. Pure navigation by GPS and programmed waypoints. As drones near target, formation tightens. Final 20 kilometers executed at full throttle. Speed increases to 120 knots. Difficult intercept problem for point defense. Russian air defense faces saturation challenge. 50 drones converging on single refinery over 30-minute window. Drones arrive in waves. First group of 10, then second group, then third. Defense systems engage first wave. Shoot down maybe 6 of 10, but reloading takes time. Second wave arrives before reloading complete. More drones penetrate. Third wave overwhelms remaining defenses. Mathematics favor attacker. 50 cheap drones versus $2 billion refinery. Only need 10-15 impacts for catastrophic damage. If this strategic analysis provides value, take a second to hit that subscribe button. Ryazan refinery attacked first. 05:45 hours. 50 drones inbound. Local air defense includes S-300 system positioned 8 kilometers away. Designed for aircraft and missiles. Can engage drones but inefficiently. Each S-300 missile costs $1 million. Shooting $1 million missile at $5,000 drone is terrible cost exchange. Plus S-300 has only 48 ready missiles. Engaging 50 targets depletes magazine. Refinery also has short-range Pantsir systems. 30mm guns and short-range missiles. More suitable for drones, but only 3 Pantsir units. Can't cover entire refinery perimeter simultaneously. First drones detected at 15 kilometers. S-300 radar tracks inbound contacts. Fire control computes intercept solutions. 4 missiles launch, 4 drones destroyed, but 46 remain. Pantsir systems activate. 30mm guns tracking. First drone enters range. Guns fire. Tracers stream toward target. Drone explodes 2 kilometers from refinery. Second drone intercepted. Third, but drones approaching from multiple vectors. Pantsir can't engage all simultaneously. Guns traverse left. Engage western approach. Eastern drones penetrate unengaged. First impact 0551 hours. Drone strikes distillation tower. 80-pound warhead detonates against tower base. Explosion ruptures pipes carrying hot petroleum products. Fire erupts immediately. Second impact hits catalyst regenerator. Third hits crude oil storage tank. Tank contains 500,000 barrels. Breach in tank wall. Oil flowing. Ignites from nearby fire. Massive conflagration. Within 5 minutes, Ryazan refinery has 6 separate major fires burning. Russian firefighting response mobilizes. But refinery fires aren't house fires. Industrial blazes involving petroleum products. Temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees. Toxic smoke. Explosion risks. Firefighters establish perimeter. Let fires burn while protecting adjacent structures. Standard protocol for refinery fires. Attempt to extinguish risks spreading fire or causing explosions. Let it burn out under controlled conditions. But burning means production stopped. Damage accumulating. Economic loss mounting. What would your priority be managing simultaneous refinery attacks? Air defense or firefighting? Comment your strategic decision. Similar scenes repeat at 5 other refineries through morning. Nizhny Novgorod hit at 0615 hours. Samara at 0702 hours. Saratov at 0745 hours. Tuapse at 0821 hours. Volgograd at 0847 hours. Each attack follows same pattern. Drone swarms, overwhelmed defenses, multiple impacts, fires, production halted. Russian air defense shoots down approximately 200 of 300 drones. 67% kill rate. Sounds impressive. But 100 drones penetrated. Average 15 to 17 impacts per refinery. More than sufficient for mission success. Russian government initially attempts information control. No official acknowledgement of attacks. State media silent. But satellite imagery can't be hidden. Commercial satellites show smoke plumes from 6 refineries simultaneously. Social media posts from nearby residents. Videos of explosions. Fires visible for 50 kilometers. By noon, October 15th, international media reporting extensively. Russian government forced to acknowledge terrorist attacks on energy infrastructure. Ukraine makes no official claim of responsibility, but Ukrainian officials on background confirm operation, emphasize attacks on military-industrial targets supporting Russian war effort. Refineries produce fuel for Russian military. Legitimate targets under laws of armed conflict. Message to Russian population. War has economic costs. Your government's aggression produces consequences beyond battlefield. This level of comprehensive strategic analysis requires extensive research. Support the channel with a thumbs up if you found value. October 16th brings second wave. 6 more refineries targeted. Different locations. Russian air defense now alerted. Additional units deployed to refinery protection. But Ukraine anticipated this. Second wave uses 200 drones per target. Complete saturation. Overwhelming even reinforced defenses. Attacks execute through night and following morning. Perm refinery hit at 2145 hours October 16th. UFA at 0223 hours October 17th. Omsk at 0534 hours. Angarsk at 0712 hours. Actionsk at 0845 hours. Yaroslavl at 1056 hours. Russian air defense performance improves slightly. Better coordination. More units deployed. Kill rate increases to 72%. But 200 drones launched in second wave. 28% penetration means 336 drones hit targets. 12 refineries now burning or heavily damaged. Russian oil refining capacity reduced by estimated 40% overnight. Economic impact immediate and severe. Fuel shortages appear within 48 hours. Gas stations in Moscow face long lines. Prices spike 150%. Diesel supplies tighten. Trucking industry struggles. Rail freight slows from fuel allocation. Aviation fuel reserves declining. Commercial flights reduce schedules. Military fuel allocation increases but strains civilian sector further. Russian economy built on petroleum. Take away refining capacity, an entire system seizes. Russian government implements emergency measures, fuel rationing, price controls, increased imports of refined products, but importing refined fuel, expensive. Russia exports crude and refines domestically for profit. Importing finished products reverses that economic equation. Trade balance deteriorates. Currency weakens. Inflation accelerates. The economic damage from 72 hours of drone attacks exceeds costs of 6 months ground warfare. International reaction splits predictably. Western nations express support for Ukrainian right to defend itself. Note attacks targeted military-industrial infrastructure, not civilian populations. Proportionate response to Russian aggression. Russia condemns attacks as terrorism, threatens escalation. Iranian and Chinese officials offer sympathy. Most neutral nations stay silent. Watching economic warfare unfold with calculated interest. Don't miss future strategic analyses. Make sure you're subscribed so you catch every detailed breakdown we produce. Putin faces decision point. How to respond. Nuclear escalation, against NATO, suicidal, against Ukraine, risks direct NATO intervention. Massive conventional retaliation, with what? Army bogged down. Air Force can't establish superiority over Ukraine. Missile stocks depleted from 2 years' combat. Cyber attacks? Already executing. Propaganda? Already maximum. Options limited. Putin discovers economic warfare cuts both directions, and Russia more vulnerable than Ukraine because Russian economy depends on infrastructure Ukraine just systematically destroyed. Russian military attempts drone defense improvements, deploy more air defense systems to refineries, establish fighter patrols, use electronic warfare to jam GPS signals. All partially effective, but fundamental problem remains: cost-exchange ratio. Ukrainian drone costs $5,000. Russian S-300 missile costs $1 million. Shooting down every drone is economic victory for Ukraine. And Ukraine has thousands more drones. Russia has finite missile inventory. Technical analysis reveals Ukrainian innovation. Drones use multiple navigation modes. GPS primary but inertial backup. Pre-programmed target coordinates. Some drones carry cameras for terminal guidance. Warheads optimized for petroleum targets. Shaped charges that penetrate tanks and ignite contents. Airburst fusing for attacking piping and towers. Engineering matched to mission. This isn't improvisation. This is systematic development of strategic capability. Manufacturing sustainability becomes critical factor. Ukraine producing 200 drones monthly by late 2024. Ramp to 400 monthly by mid-2025. Simple design, commercial components, distributed production across multiple facilities. Difficult for Russia to target manufacturing. Even hitting some production sites doesn't stop program. Classic asymmetric warfare advantage. Attacker needs cheap weapons in quantity. Defender needs expensive weapons and perfect defense. Math never favors defender. Your engagement shapes what we analyze next. If this provided strategic insight, share it with anyone studying modern warfare and economic strategy. October 25th marks aftermath assessment. 12 Russian refineries offline. Estimated 2.5 million barrels per day refining capacity destroyed or damaged. Repairs will take 12 to 18 months, cost exceeding $8 billion. Meanwhile, Russian fuel prices tripled. Rationing expanded to all major cities. Industrial production declining from fuel shortages. Transportation networks strained. Economic growth projections revised downward by 4%. All from 72 hours of drone operations costing Ukraine approximately $15 million in drones and support. Strategic implications reshape warfare thinking globally. Drones proved capable of strategic effect, not just tactical battlefield support. Strategic economic damage. Small nations or non-state actors could employ similar tactics. Attack economic infrastructure of a larger adversary. Refineries, power plants, dams, manufacturing centers. If Ukraine can hit Russian refineries at 1,500-kilometer range, who else can hit what? Every nation with critical infrastructure becomes vulnerable to cheap mass drone attacks. Defense industry rushes to develop counter-drone technologies. Directed energy weapons, electronic warfare, better radar coverage, faster interceptors. But fundamental problem persists. Cheap threats versus expensive defenses. Defender must intercept every drone. Attacker only needs some to penetrate. Probability calculus favors attacker. This asymmetry drives strategic change. Infrastructure defense becomes primary military mission, not just for military bases, for economic targets. Insurance industry responds predictably. Premium increases for refineries and critical infrastructure. Exclusions for drone attack damage. Risk models updated. Some infrastructure becomes uninsurable. Governments must self-insure or subsidize coverage. Economic costs of vulnerability extend beyond direct damage, include risk premiums and insurance complications. Another dimension of asymmetric warfare impact. Russian energy sector faces long-term consequences. Even after repairs complete, vulnerability remains. Ukraine proved capability to strike at will. Russian refineries can't operate under constant threat. Some companies consider relocating facilities further from Ukraine, but that's 2,000+ kilometer range drone. How far is safe? Others invest in defenses, billions on air defense systems, hardened structures, underground storage, security costs that reduce profitability. Ukraine changed Russian energy economics permanently. So here's the strategic question every military planner must answer. How do you defend economic infrastructure against mass drone attacks? Can defenses ever match cheap, expendable threats? Is distributed infrastructure more survivable than concentrated facilities? What's the counter to swarm tactics when swarms cost less than defenses? Share your comprehensive strategic analysis below. If you made it through this entire economic warfare analysis, you're exactly who this community serves. Hit subscribe, hit notification bell, share with anyone studying modern conflict and strategic operations. Because 72 hours in October 2025 taught lessons that reshape warfare doctrine. Your support through likes, comments, and subscriptions enables in-depth analyses like this. October 15th through 17th changed how wars are fought, proved economic targets as decisive as military targets, demonstrated drone swarms achieve strategic effects, validated asymmetric cost exchange. Russia learned that attacking neighbors produces consequences beyond battlefield. Ukraine proved small nation with smart strategy can strike strategic depth. And every military watching learned that infrastructure vulnerability is everyone's problem now. Stay informed, stay strategic, and we'll see you in the next Operation Breakdown.